Welcome back to another episode of the Field of 68's college basketball offseason grades. And today we are going to be breaking down the Arizona Wildcats, who are coming off of an offseason where they have lost a couple of really important pieces. Azuolas Tubelis is gone. Kerr Kriisa hit the portal. Courtney Ramey, he's gone. Cedric Henderson, he's gone. They do bring back Oumar Ballo, who has a chance to end up being an All-American, one of the best big guys in college basketball this season. Kylan Boswell, Henry Visar are both expected to be kind of breakout players in a bigger role. Pelle Larsson did decide to come back to school, but the big news with Arizona is who they plucked out of the transfer portal. Caleb Love, Jaden Bradley, Keshad Johnson, and they do have a couple of good freshmen coming in. KJ Lewis, who is a four-star wing, kind of a lead guard / combo guard, as well as Paulius Morauskas, a 6'8", 220-pound forward from Lithuania. Paulus, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Goodman.
There's no way you did.
No way I did.
Names right.
No way I did. Goodman,
No
talk to me about this Arizona team and what you make of their offseason.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've done a pretty good job, all things considered, right? I mean, again, what they lost was significant. Tubelis was their best player last year. He kind of gave him a little bit of everything. Kerr Kriisa, I think it was kind of a mutual decision to move on from Kerr Kriisa, especially with having Kylan Boswell in place. I don't know if they have a star this year, but I think they've got pretty good balance and they've got enough weapons. They did a pretty good job in the portal. Getting more athletic was huge for Arizona. That's been a big contention. They're skilled. We know that. But have they been athletic enough the first couple of years of the Tommy Lloyd era? Probably not. So you get Jaden Bradley, not a great shooter from Alabama, but, he can guard and he can go. Keshad Johnson, obviously, played a huge role on a Final Four team for San Diego State. And Caleb Love, who's the ultimate wild card of all wild cards, right, from Carolina. 2 years ago was terrific for a couple games in the Final Four. Last year, not so terrific for the Tar Heels. Was supposed to go to Michigan, didn't work out, so he ends up in Tucson again. The good thing for Tommy Lloyd with Caleb Love is, it's not like you're relying on Caleb Love. It's not like you have to have 20 points or 15 points or even 25 minutes from Caleb Love. You've got enough other weapons in place. Pelle Larsson, he's going to be good, but everybody had him myself included, as a breakout candidate last year. All right, Pelle Larsson is probably what he is. A really nice, solid player, really good defense, can move the ball, good size, can score 10, 12, maybe 14 points. But I don't know if he's going to be more than that. They've got a lot of those type of guys that are just good, solid players, Rob.
I do think that they have a star in Oumar Ballo. And he's
not a star. No.
What I mean by that is, hold on. Let me finish my point. What I mean by that is, when you are running the system that Tommy Lloyd runs, what you need is a big guy that is able to seal, able to create angles, and able to score in the post. And Oumar Ballo can do that. He is someone that you can kind of run offense through when you are running an offense, which is what they are going to run. I think that you have enough talent along your perimeter. In fact, I think that they have a deeper perimeter than people realize, right? You're going to have one of Pelle Larsson, Caleb Love, Kylan Boswell, Jaden Bradley. One of them's coming off the bench. You can't start all four of those guys. So I think that's going to be a really interesting dynamic. If I had to bet on it, I would say Jaden Bradley's probably the most likely one to come off the bench. I think Kylan's the most natural point guard of the two. I think Caleb Love is the guy that you want to start him to see if you got good Caleb or bad Caleb. And Pelle Larsson is just that connective piece that needs to be in the lineup.
I say you bring Caleb Love off the bench and see how he is.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll talk about Caleb in a second, because I think that when we talk about X Factor here, I think both of us agree what the X Factor is going to be.
Big X Factor for Caleb Love. He is the ultimate X Factor.
The other thing I think is going to be really interesting is I would expect that it's a little bit of a different lineup than what we saw last year, whereas you had the Twin Towers, Tubelis and Ballo last year, and Keshad Johnson is a really good piece, but more of a 3/4 than a guy that's going to average 20 and 10 as a pure 4/5. So it'll be a different look, but I'm pretty interested and pretty excited to see what Tommy Lloyd can do with this. All right, let's talk about him. The X Factor, Caleb Love. What do you make of this, Goodman?
Oh, man, I feel like I've talked about Caleb Love ad nauseum this offseason, and I don't want to do it again. Like, honestly, I feel sick doing it over and over and over. I'm going to reserve judgment here. I've gotten to a point where I feel like I've been too negative on Caleb Love, and I want to just reserve judgment and see what it looks like. But, again, all I'll say is if there was a team that could probably take a shot on Caleb Love, it was Arizona, because they've got enough other pieces in place here. They've got enough other guards. Like you said, you go in with Boswell, Bradley, and Larson as your perimeter trio, and you're fine. You're fine. And if Caleb Love, gives you, again, he's just got to be efficient. He's got to be more efficient, Rob, period.
Yeah. And here's the key for Caleb is going to be buying into to the idea that he doesn't have to take 25 shots a game. Because look, I don't know how many guards there are in college basketball this season that are more talented than him. Like when Caleb Love is good, Caleb Love. Oh. I don't know how many guys do you take over him? That's
what annoys me. That's what annoys me so much about him is your expectation.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the key, and here's what I hope works out is that one, a change of scenery, a new voice, a new team around him, I think will be a good thing for all parties. I just think that kind of ran its course. And then the other thing is, like, if he can buy into this idea that he doesn't have to take every shot, that he doesn't have to win every game himself, that there are going to be nights when he goes and gets 30 and he goes full Caleb Love, second half Duke in the Final Four, like just goes off. We need those nights. On the nights when he doesn't have it, you can rein it in because there are going to be options around him. Now, there are options around him at North Carolina, and that did not necessarily work. So I think it's on Caleb to figure it out. But if it works, that he is an all-American caliber player, without a doubt.
Yeah.
If it works. So I hope it does, because one, he's fun to watch when he's good. Like, he is fun to watch. And two, the sport is better when Arizona is good. And if you could put an all-American guard on Arizona, that is definitively a good thing. All right, let's talk expectations. They are.
Can we just give my boy from Lithuania a little bit of a plug here?
Go ahead.
Paulius Morauskas, a 4-3 who supposedly is very, very talented. Now, again, a year ago, we heard a lot about like Henry Visar, and he was okay. Dylan Anderson's also got a year under his belt, but I'm told Morauskas is somebody that, again, has the potential to be an impact guy as a freshman. So they've got a lot of versatility. That's the difference. Like you said, last year, I hate the idea of playing two traditional. Not that, I mean, again, like, were they traditional bigs in the sense of the word? Ballo certainly is. This year, again, you don't have that. So defensively, you should be a lot better because you're going to be more switchable than you were when you had Ballo and Tubelis.
Yeah, I think they kind of learned a lesson from Princeton, so to speak.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the expectations on this team, I think, I think will be. They're going to be the favorite to win the Pac-12, right? They go legitimately 8 to 9 deep.
Yes and no.
They're too deep at every position. I really like this team.
I think you're right. They'll probably be favored, but I don't think it's like by much. I mean, I think you could throw Arizona, UCLA, Colorado. Who am I forgetting about? USC.
Yes. Colorado, yes. I'm not ready to put UCLA there.
I mean, all I'll say is, like, again, I know Arizona's got a little bit more experience back. That's why you're saying that, more known quantities. But UCLA has still got plenty of talent. So Arizona probably a slight edge for me, maybe, but I'm not even sure I'd go that way. I think I'd throw 3 or 4 teams in a hat at this point, and Arizona's one of them to win the Pac-12. So if Arizona's, in the hunt to win the league regular season title, that's a good year. And if they can do it, far more importantly, is what they do in the postseason right now in the NCAA tournament, because that's where they've fallen short so far. They've had great regular seasons under Tommy Lloyd. And again, listen, we need to give Tommy Lloyd credit here, because this thing could have been, the bottom could have fallen out kind of in a way it did when Lute Olson, the end of his era, and when Sean Miller took over. And Sean Miller was fortunate enough to get Derek Williams and some other guys, Solomon Hill, that saved him. Well, Tommy Lloyd was able to re-recruit, Tubelis and Creesa and some of these other guys, obviously, that made a huge impact right away and keep this thing stable. So I think those fans that are killing Tommy Lloyd for not going deeper in the tournament, like, get a life, because it could have been a lot worse right now for this program.
Yeah, I mean, look, he entered as a 2 seed and 1 seed, and they have a Sweet 16 to show out of it. So if you want to say that he hasn't lived up to expectations there, it's fair. He's also done a lot,
though.
But
it's not.
When you're a 2 seed and you lose to a 15 seed,
but you shouldn't.
You're going to take shots, and you deserve to take shots. But listen, he's outperformed what they were heading into the season every year. And you got to give him credit for that. And here's the last thing I'll say is we are in an era in college basketball where the best teams, the difference between the best teams and the teams at the bottom of the NCAA tournament is not really all that much. There's a reason why you're seeing more of these upsets. So I hope that this is the year that Tommy finds a way to get it done. All right, grade the offseason, Goodman. Grade the offseason.
I'll go. All right. So basically they lost Tubelis, Creesa, Ramey were the big guy, and Adama Ball I actually liked, so I think he could have helped them. They added Love, Bradley, Keyshawn Johnson, and a couple of foreign kids, a couple of Lithuanians, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I'll go with like a B. I'll go with a B, maybe a B plus. Again, for me, it's all about Caleb Love. If he buys in and I mean, I think, again, they've got more athletic. They needed to do that, so I'll go B plus, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I'm going to say B plus, because I think that losing Tubelis is kind of expected when you have a guy that's a second-team All-American, right? Yes. I think replacing Kirk Creesa with Caleb Love is you're replacing someone that's erratic with a guy that is significantly more talented, so I will give that one a plus. And then Ramey leaving is like he's a graduate. You're replacing him with Jaden Bradley, who has frankly a ceiling that's just as high, if not higher, than Courtney Ramey if he can figure it out. So I'll give it a B plus. We're going to have to see. It all kind of hinges on Caleb Love, though, which is what we said, which is why this is the season of love in Tucson. There you have it. B plus, Tommy Lloyd. This is going to be the year where you get past the Sweet 16, my man. Let's see it. This has been the off-season grades for college basketball here on the Field of 68. Our partner for today's episode is Athletic Greens. I started taking AG1 during the college basketball season, and I loved the impact that it had on my energy levels. I'm a big coffee in the morning guy, but by the time that the afternoon would hit, I needed another boost. AG1 helped me tremendously, especially on those days when I didn't want to get up off the couch and go hit the gym. Their tagline is AG1 is comprehensive health and the power of habit in one. And man, that could not be more true. It's nearly impossible to eat and drink in a healthy manner in the month of February and the month of March when you are in my business. And AG1 was exactly the supplement that I needed to improve my gut health and cover my nutritional basis for the day. I've continued that into April. I've continued that into May, and I'm going to continue that the rest of the summer. All I have to do is mix a scoop of AG1 with some water, or maybe add it into a smoothie, and I'm ready to go. Do it after lunch, and you'll be ready to go for the rest of the day. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/field68. That's field68, FIELD, the number 6, the number 8, and you can get yours now. So check it out and help support this show. Thanks.